So, hello there, Ívar by Ívar's Fly Workshop, and welcome to my channel. Today we are tying it's an all Icelandic pattern, yet again. And this fly has proved itself in the Veiðivötn area. But the Veiðivötn area is like a cluster of many lakes up in the highlands. It formed in volcanic eruptions and it's stunningly beautiful. But back to the fly, we start by getting the thread attached to the shank of the hook. Then the tail of the fly, this fly is called Alda. The tail of the fly is it's made out of red marabou, as you see. And I prefer to use one whole feather for this fly, since the marabou shrinks quite a bit when it gets wet. And while we process the marabou, I'll tell you guys about Veiðivötn. Veiðivötn is an area up in the highlands. It's like 2.5–3 hour drive from the Reykjavik city. It's not easy to get permits or license there to fish, but it's all volcanic. These are craters and huge lakes and stuff between there, and it has both brown trout and Arctic char in it. And the trout there, it's an ice age fish, which migrated from the ocean right after the ice age and got isolated in the lakes. The fish in the lakes is extremely strong, and it's so fun to go there and fish. I went twice last summer, and yeah, I'm definitely going again. With this fly which we are tying, Alda is a really effective pattern up there, and among, of course, with the classic streamers like Black Ghost. But it's absolutely beautiful up there. We made like a video, I and a friend of mine, and I will link that video into the channel at some point. It's not about fishing, but we are just driving around there, taking drone shots, and it's amazingly beautiful. Back to the fly tying. I prefer, like I said, to use a whole feather for the tail of the fly. And it gets, like you see, it's a little messy job to work with the marabou, but it's part of the game. It's gonna be all fine when we get that down to the shank of the hook again and trim off the rest. And I had there are like few good fishes last season up in Veiðivötn area. And so one fish that was 5 pounds, 5 lips weight, and there are fishes to be found up to 8 kilograms, even more. So there are monsters up in Veiðivötn lurking in the depths of the lakes. But it's like sought after to fish there, and it's not easy to get permits. I was invited there, so that's why I got to get there. So we are just trimming off the marabou here, just cleaning the shank of the hook basically, and wrapping the thread forward to form the body of the fly. And this fly is special in many ways because there is a hackle on the fly, but the hackle is in the middle of the body. Now we are just going to coat this marabou with varnish just to make it stronger. I recommend that, even though I'm not doing it in the videos here, but I will always recommend that, especially if you're tying flies for brown trout and if you want them to last longer, it's either to put the head varnish or even a super glue on the body. It's gonna give the fly it's gonna extend the lifetime of the fly, and it's definitely worth it if you want your fly to last more than 1 or 2 fishes. We just wait for a second while the varnish is drained into the body of the fly. Now we are attaching, it's both red flashable and silver flashable. We are attaching that to the tail, so it goes like in a line with the tail like this. And if we do it like I'm doing it, like take it over and back, you will create like a loop with it. So, and with the loop, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be in its place. Then we can snip off the some of the longer fibers, like of the strands of the flash. It gives the fly like a good shiny looking shape. And now we are going to form the body of the fly, and the body is either made out of it's called green Kelly gel, or you can use a similar material which you dub on the body. And since I do not have the green Kelly gel, I will use a dub instead. We will use a dub instead for that. And remember, we are only going to do a dub until like half of the body, and and then again we will place the hackle, and after the hackle we'll dub again and finish the fly, and that's about it. And when we are dubbing, I'm using this technique to just turn it one way, not wiggle it between your fingers, but turn it only one way. And as you see, it gives like a green. It's supposed to be green. Like this. And just dub it to the body. We need to add more dubbing. It's quite a large fly. It's hook size number 6, so it's quite a large fly. But a friend of mine who taught me fly tying and fly fishing, he said it's simple. Larger flies, larger fish. And with him, you cannot really argue about fly fishing, or you could. He's like the Maradona of Icelandic fly fishing. I believe there was no one better than him, Jón Sigurðsson. He owns a lot of great patterns. But now we are closing into the hackle, and there is a black rooster or black cock feather for it. You can actually use a hen feather for it as well. It just depends. And we are using a black rooster on this one. And it's really enjoyable to have the privilege to learn by my mentors, the people who taught me fly fishing and fly tying and casting and all the techniques and everything. So I got into this when I was like, I don't know, 9 years old or so. And I've been doing it ever since. This is the greatest meditation I do. That's to tie flies during the wintertime on the off season and go fishing with them in the summertime. There is something with it, You cannot describe it. There is something with it. And I've been working as a tour guide as well for many years here in Iceland. And one of my customers asked me if I believed in God Almighty. It was a guy from America. And I looked at him and said, well, yes, I do. My connection to God is through the thread while tying the flies and through the fly line while I'm fishing. That's my connection to the Almighty. And he looked at me and said, that's a really good answer to that question. He was a fisherman too. But back to the fly, we attached the hackle, and now we have to trim off the stem of the feather there. And you see, it's quite like a fully dressed hackle, but it's okay. It's supposed to be like visible in the water. And all the extra fibers which are not pointing the correct direction, we'll just trim them off. And can do it like this. Just take all the feathers and fibers and get them to point backwards and give it a little thread in front of it to put a little pressure on it, and it's definitely gonna make the fibers stick in the correct way, or let them point in the correct way. So we'll do a dub on the front body, fast forward it a little bit, and that's about it. And this is the Alda Fly, almost ready. I'm gonna add a little bit more dubbing just on the front of it. You can actually tie this fly in like sizes 8 or 10. And if you are fishing for brown trout, no matter where you are located or situated on the globe, I recommend it. Please tie this fly if you have the material for it, and try it out. And let me know in the comments if you catch something, because I will be just delighted to know if somebody is using some Icelandic patterns not in Iceland. And that's what this channel is about, which I just started. Yeah, it's almost a month ago, and we had ridiculously good feedback. Already some sponsorships and stuff. And to make the body of the fly a little bit more fluffier, I take it with a needle, but you have to be very careful on that. But yeah, like I said, the purpose with the channel is not only tying Icelandic flies for Icelandic people, it's as well to tie all the flies in English. So the channel can be like a gateway to you guys who are not speaking Icelandic, to like give you access to Icelandic fly tying traditions and patterns. That's why I started the channel. And I would love to get some shares and subscribers and stuff, because I want to keep the channel on the top as the best Icelandic fly tying channel there is. And I believe today there is nobody who matches the channel. And I'm not bragging. It's all in 4K and in good sound quality and good film quality. So, trust the head with the worries, and that's about it. There you have it. This is the Alda Fly, a brown trout killer, or a brown trout whisperer. I don't know how to put it out. So, we are almost done. I just remind you to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.